Hello, beautiful people. How are y'all feeling today? I hope you guys are feeling spectacular. Welcome to my channel. My name is Grace and I am a divine feminine coach, tarot reader, and energy healer. And I am here to help you to tap into your own healing prowess. Today we are going to be talking about 5 tips for how to stay grounded during conflict. I know I myself have been in those conflicts where I get so heated and I am no longer present in the moment. Instead, I'm fighting with everyone who has wronged me in the past. If you can relate, this video is going to be so beneficial for you, so stay tuned. All right, guys, how many of us have been in arguments before, in conflict before, where we have felt heated and we have allowed our emotions to run the show? Show of hands. I know I certainly have. And especially for us fire signs, not really calling you out, but I'm calling you out a little bit. It can be really hard to allow our emotions to not take over our physical vessel so that we are not acting from a space of reaction. Rather, when we are able to remain grounded in a heated conflict or conversation, this allows us to observe our emotions, right? But not attaching to any particular one. And it allows us to have this space to consciously respond to the other person that we are engaging with, rather than to react from a place of triggering, from a place of trauma response. All right, so the first tip that I have for you today is to breathe deeply throughout the conflict. This allows us to really tap into the body and to become present with our body's experience. So learning to breathe mindfully into the belly. If you've never had any experience with pranayama or breath work, that's okay. Let's start by practicing this together. So we're gonna breathe deeply, first filling up the belly here, and then allowing the chest, the lungs to expand. All right, so inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And last one together, inhale and exhale. All right, so notice how you feel now, right? We feel much more present with our current experience. I know I certainly do when we tap in to our senses, to our feeling body. Then we are not so preoccupied with the mind chatter and the racing thoughts and the abundance of emotions that are happening during this conflict, right? We can stay much more present and we can allow ourselves to have that center, that stillness, and to really be rooted. And when we can allow ourselves to really settle into the body, suddenly we are able to not only allow our emotions to flow naturally through us, but allow ourselves to respond from a place of mindfulness. Which leads us to my second tip for you guys, which is to observe your emotions without attaching to any particular one. I know in the past when I've been in a heated argument, I can really allow myself to get blown away with the winds and the waves of emotion that are happening, right? And sometimes there's this thing that happens called emotional hijacking, where our triggered trauma self has now inhabited our body, right? So regardless of how mindful, how spiritual, how evolved we may be, right? Sometimes this will happen and that's okay. This trauma self will then hijack our body, and suddenly the things that we're doing, the things that we're saying, the anger that we are directing at this person that we presumably love, hopefully, otherwise, why are you doing it? Is starting to overtake us. All logic and reason and calmness has left the building, it has vacated the premises, and we are no longer our true selves, right? We've allowed ourselves to be rocked by the waves of our internal state. So we are no longer being present. However, if we can choose to mindfully observe what's going on within us, noticing where the feelings are arising in our bodies, tapping into those centers of our bodies and recognizing, okay, maybe I hold anger in my belly. For me, I know I hold anger in my face. My entire chest up will just get hot. So when we can be mindfully aware of these important messages from our body, we can learn to simply observe these emotions without attaching to them. And this will take practice. And I know I myself have been practicing this for quite some time, and still we will not be perfect at it, and that's okay. Meditation is such a powerful tool for this. If you have trouble detaching from your emotions and becoming the observer of them rather than becoming the emotion itself, then incorporating a meditation practice will be so useful for you. It'll be such a powerful tool to allow yourself to disidentify with the emotions that are arising for you. And now this doesn't mean that we suppress or we deny or completely ignore our emotions and just stuff them to the wayside, right? No, this means allowing them to surface as they may, and also not allowing yourself to become that emotion. The third tip I have for you guys for staying grounded during conflict is to remember that it is you and your loved one, whether this is a romantic partner, whether this is a friendship, a coworker, whatever your relationship is, remembering that it is the both of you against the problem rather than you versus me. So when we come at this from a team standpoint and we're both tackling the same issue and we are both also aware of what the issue truly is, the deep-rooted issue, then we can approach this from a sense of collaboration rather than competition, right? So we're not butting heads anymore. We are looking to co-create and work together towards what our solution will be. And part of this understanding is to recognize that conflict is really about an opportunity for deeper connection, for deeper intimacy, for deeper levels of understanding and loving people how they need to be loved. And when we can approach conflict from this mindset, that conflict is a beneficial tool for our growth, for our expansion, for our deeper intimacy and connection, we can remain grounded in the knowledge that this is an opportunity. This is a gateway to allow us to resolve our issues and to further this beautiful connection that we have. And when we approach the issue at hand with a teamwork perspective, suddenly it's not you win and I lose, or I win and you lose. Suddenly it's like, okay, how can we troubleshoot this together? How can we figure out a way to be curious about what the issue actually is? And from that space of curiosity and genuine care, we can work together towards a solution. The fourth tip that I have for you guys for how to stay grounded during conflict is to really pay attention to what your body is doing, especially the chest and shoulders. So when we are in conflict, oftentimes our body language is very different than when we are connecting with ease with somebody, right? So a lot of times, the shoulders will be hunched. Maybe we don't feel quite safe and we feel like, oh, I gotta close my heart. I have to close my chest. I need to somehow protect myself. Or, we'll cross the arms and really just block ourselves out, right? How does that feel? How does that feel to be a part of that? It doesn't feel good, the energy that's coming forward right now. But instead, when we allow ourselves to relax our bodies, to really open up the chest and heart center, right? Really drawing the shoulders up, down, and back, and opening your heart to this person, then we can allow ourselves to show this person through our body, hey, I'm open to you. I am willing to receive what you are expressing to me. I am ready and able to receive this. And it helps if we really tap into the heart center, right? If you don't have practice with this, maybe take some time every day just to do little mini check-ins with yourself, and really ask yourself, is my heart open right now? Is my heart closed right now? What's it doing right now? Just be a little curious about it. What's it doing? What's the little baby heart doing, right? And if you can feel your heart, your chest beginning to close during a conflict, maybe it's a sign that you don't feel quite safe. So do whatever it is that you need to do to allow yourself to feel safe. Communicate this with your partner, with your friend, with your family, loved one, whomever. And then afterwards, after this has been done, allow yourself to open and allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to freely express. There is this knowledge that the mind, the state of the mind, can control what goes on within the body, right? We've all heard of the placebo effect. This is a potent scientific explanation for how the mind can control what the body is doing, in this case, healing. However, what science is just beginning to explore now is that the body has that effect on the mind as well. So when we can allow the body to relax and open, it will have a calming, grounding effect on the mind, right? We forget sometimes the ancient wisdom of our bodies. So if we want to change our state during conflict, and it's not always possible to do it from a top-down method. So if we do it from a ground-up method, with starting with the body, paying attention to how tight it is and how much tension we're holding, and if our chest is rounded and closed, if our arms are crossed, if we're scrunched up into a little ball, really paying attention to the wisdom of that and allowing yourself to really open. And this way, not only will you feel more open, but you will also allow the person that you are in conflict with to feel more safe, to feel better about being able to communicate openly with you. And the fifth tip that I have for you guys is to learn to press pause, right? So sometimes we do get to this point of elevated emotion where we are too heated to have a reasonable discussion, a conscious, intentional conversation during this conflict. If you have a lot of traumas, there's going to be triggering. We're going to be triggering each other, right? That's just part of the process. Let's surrender to that fact right now and embrace it, okay? It's okay if there's triggering. If you are too triggered to continue, then have the grace to communicate that with whomever you are in conflict with, right? Maybe you don't feel quite safe, communicate, hey, I don't feel safe right now. I need to take a break in order to ground myself with love, and we will return to this discussion after this time. That is okay. That doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you any less than. It is okay. It is actually a strength to recognize when we are no longer running the vehicle, okay? Like, it's been hijacked by whatever past traumas we've experienced that have not quite healed yet. It is actually an indicator of self-awareness when we recognize this and we choose to do the conscious thing and to take that pause. Maybe you need to do some breathing on your own. Maybe you need to do some stretching. Maybe you need to get outside and go for a walk. Just burn off some steam. And that way, when we do return to the conflict, we can return from a place of love, of kindness and compassion. I think a lot of the times when we do get into these heated arguments, we forget that we dearly care about this person that is in front of us, right? And we are out for blood. And I get it, you guys. And when we can recognize that this beautiful human in front of us is somebody that we care very much about, and we can learn to pause our experience and to connect from a place that is safe for everyone involved, this will allow us to resolve the conflict much more effectively and safely. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, drop me a comment in the comment section below, letting me know what is effective for you guys to become more grounded during conflict. I am currently open for new one-to-one coaching clients. I am still doing pay what you can coaching sessions due to the whole pandemic situation that is going on right now. So hit me up on Instagram at Lotus Coaching 13 if you would like to book a session. I'm also available for tarot readings as always. So hit me up, you guys, at Lotus Coaching 13 on Instagram. I would love to connect with you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.